Hi guys! Welcome back with me Yvonne. So on today's video, I will be telling you guys about my experience as an au pair, which I already finished for 1 year. I already did it for 11 months and now I am officially off duty of an au pair. It's been quite a long time, right? Since the last time I posted something on my YouTube. I actually have a reason of that. That's basically because I was still an au pair, so I cannot really talk freely about what it actually feels like to be an au pair, because I am still living with my host parents. But now I am not an au pair anymore. I already finished that since last July. It actually still feels a bit weird for me not being an au pair anymore, because I've been an au pair for 11 months and now I am not. Ever since my first day coming to the Netherlands, I was an au pair, and for 11 months I was an au pair. So now that I am graduated from that, it really feels like I lost track of my life. I really don't know who I am now. If I see kids on the street, I feel like they are my responsibility, but they are actually not, because I'm not an au pair anymore. Because really, when you're an au pair, you really have to blend into that job. Your days, every single day of it, are facing the people who you are working with. For example, like your host parents mostly are your boss, and then your host kids are your responsibility. So you are living with your job, with your boss and your responsibility for every single day of your life. Even if it's your holiday, you are still living with them. Like if you are working at a company, then you are not staying with your company. But with au pair, you are actually living with your job. So that's what you have to be prepared of. So now I am going to tell you how it actually feels like to be an au pair. Me personally, I will never be an au pair anymore, honestly, because I don't really think that it suits myself. When you are an au pair, you have to be ready that you will not be as free as you are when you are living with your parents or when you are living by yourself. You are living with your boss, which really gives you barrier to be who you are, who you truly are. You are living with them, so there's no free time for you during the week, except for the weekend. That's why usually when it's a weekend, I always go outside from my family's house. I just go to my friend's place, I just go to my boyfriend's place. It gives me some time to be myself again. It really doesn't mean that I don't like my host family, but at some point when you are meeting with the same person every day, at some point it just changed, like you are just getting tired of them. Not because they are mean, not because they are bad human, but just because they are not your true family. And honestly, they say au pair is a cultural exchange, but me, and I know some girls that are saying the same thing as me, we don't really think that this is a cultural exchange. This is basically a job where you are getting underpaid. Because being an au pair, you really work every day. Even if it's your day off, because you are still living with them, so you are still helping them at some point, right? Because you cannot really just pass them by and say, hey, this is my holiday, I'm not gonna do anything. You can clean the house, I will eat, and I will not do anything. You cannot really say that to your host family or your host parents. It's a lucky thing that you can connect well with your host parents or your host kids or your host family. But for me, it is really hard because I feel like at some point people do change. At some point they're becoming their true self. And then when they're becoming their true self, sometimes it just doesn't connect with you. Sometimes you just don't understand what they really want. Sometimes you are trying your best, but it's still not what they want. And it really frustrates you, especially because you have to see them every day. When you're having a problem with them, after you have that problem, you still have to face them. You still have to interact with them because you are living there. And honestly, for me, as an au pair, you are the one who be blamed for almost everything. Even if you give your explanations, even if something happens and you give them the explanations, then it still doesn't matter because you are their au pair and you will be the one who's wrong. Even though you are saying this and that, but they will always have something to say that, yeah, but you can do this, yeah, but you can do that. So basically being an au pair, you really have to be perfect for your host family. But we cannot always be perfect, right? We're just humans. And it really stresses me out during my au pair year, because like I really don't know what I should do, and I really don't know what I am expected for, because after I did some things, I still did it wrong. And when you want to be just yourself, it's almost impossible. For example, after a weekend when you come home, then you have to have these small talks like, hey, how was your weekend? Was it good? Did you have a nice weekend? And then you are telling them what did you do during the weekend. And then you cannot really just like come home and then just go to your room because you just don't feel like talking to the people. But all of this that I'm saying, they are not applicable for every families. Every host families are different. After moving from two families, I really feel like this is what actually really happening when you're an au pair. I don't only experience this, but I also listen to my friends' experiences. Last but not least, being an au pair, they say it are being part of the family. That's the most sentence I ever heard, sorry. Because, well, it's better if you don't expect anything when you're becoming an au pair. Don't expect that you will be part of their family, because you are not. Don't expect it, it will kill you. When you are deciding that you will be an au pair, just pretend that you are going to live with your boss. Be ready for that, because when something happens to you, they are not your family. Example, if you get into an accident and something happened to you and you need some money to pay for your bills, then they will not be the one that pays for you because you are not their child. So trust me, I think this is a really good tip. Don't think that the host family is really your family. Just think that you are working with them. And don't put your heart, don't put your feelings to them, because it will kill you. Again, all I'm saying is not applicable to all families. There might be hundreds of other au pairs that doesn't agree with me, but mostly for me and my friends, we do feel this way. So maybe it's better, right, to just be prepared first. Well, when I first deciding to be an au pair, like when you first come to a country where it's totally new, when you don't know anybody, of course you feel like your host parents are your parents here. But they're actually not. So just be strong. When you're deciding that you will be an au pair, be strong, because you are the only one who will take care of yourself, not your host family, not your host kid obviously. And maybe that's it for this video. I am just showing you the truth of being an au pair. Again, for me, not for everyone. So if you have a question or if you want to ask some stuff about au pair, well, I will try to reply to all the messages that I got. You can just put the comments below and then I will try to reply it and will explain it. And because now I am not an au pair anymore, but I am now a student, I will also make a video about how to change your visa from au pair visa to student visa. So I think that's all, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this video is not boring. I hope this video opens your eye about how it feels like to be an au pair. And if you are also an au pair and you feel the same way, I might appreciate it if you also comment down below, so I feel like I'm not the only one who's facing these kind of troubles. So yeah, I'll see you guys at the next video and thank you for watching. Bye! See you!